Hello and welcome to coverage of Grand Prix Toronto. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with Randy Bueller. And we've got round 9 coverage here on day 1. We're playing standard and got a couple undefeated players here, Randy. We've got Brian Bronduin on the right-hand side playing green-white tokens, black-white Eldrazi in the hands of Josh Wheatonhuis. And well, let's figure out what happens in the early stages. Looks like nothing so far for Josh. Brian has got
the Lambhold Pacifist.
Breakout card, Lambhold Pacifist?
I mean, it was in their sideboard at the PT itself. They've moved it into the main deck in favor of Thraben Inspector.
Some of these, there are decks in the field that are running 4 Lambhold Pacifist.
Card's good.
Yeah.
Ha! Kill it on the spot. Josh, not particularly interested in doing nothing and letting it flip into a Butcher.
Right.
Says, how about you have a Clue instead of a 4/4? The last Thraben Inspector.
It is. That's the last one.
I haven't actually gotten BBD's list, but I assume that he's made the same changes that the rest of Team Face to Face has made to this deck, where they went down to 1 Thraben Inspector. They thought that was the worst performing card in the list last weekend.
Thought Not Seer, where you been all day?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that guy in a few weeks.
Seen more Well, I've seen some of him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I watched a little bit of him. The fact that he's 4/4 though, I've seen more Reality Smashers so far this weekend than Thought Not Seers.
Agree.
The 5/5 body on Reality Smashers seems so much better positioned against all the grasps and languishes running around.
Totally. So he ended up taking a Secure of the Wastes there. That led to Brian Bronduin cracking a clue, drawing a card, and then playing a Nissa on his turn. He's made a plant token and just passed the turn back. Not bad. Josh is going to apply some pressure here. BBD is going to throw the plant under Ye Old Bus. Oh, man, a double Thought Not Seer opener here. And he's only got one option. It's a Dromoka's Command. Now, he did leave Brian Bronduin with another copy of Dromoka's Command in his hand, but those are the only spells he had. Oh, he just ripped Avacyn off the top, Randy.
It's a good card.
Hello?
She's so good.
Man. Now, this is the funny part, because BBD now has to just sit there and just sell, go. You know, like, don't have anything, I promise.
It's not a tough sell.
It's not at all.
Guy saw his hand last turn. There was nothing in it.
I know. I think I would just play really quickly, and I'd just be like, yeah, go. And look at this. Josh is just going to rumble right in, and this is going to be a savage blowout.
4/4.
Josh says, sure, of course that's what you drew. Wait a minute. He has a response.
Yeah.
Anguished Unmaking. Very nice.
Yep.
So Josh sitting at 8-0 with Black-White Eldrazi. Even though he would have been pretty bummed that Avacyn came down there, he had the answer in hand. Now, that does let Brian Bronduin block and not have his creatures die, but Josh is going to live with that, no problem. He still has both of his Thought Not Seers, and he's not facing down a 4/4 Flying Vigilance. So,
wow, I get a little bit of information on Josh Buitenhaus, by the way.
What do you got?
This is his first ever Grand Prix.
Holy smokes, Josh.
Local player.
8-0.
Lives about an hour away. Drove the hour into town. 8-0.
Wow, good for him.
He's been doing a lot of practice
strong.
with Black-White Control, though. This has been his deck for a couple of weeks since it became legal.
Oh, this is great. By the way, chat loves the flavor on Anguished Unmaking targeting Avacyn.
Yeah, that is perfect, isn't
I'm
it?
told that's part of the storyline, though. I'll admit I don't really know.
Just look at the picture.
What? Anguished Unmaking?
Anguished Unmaking. It's Soren unmaking his creation. The beautiful angel. That's why he's in pain. It's why you lose the life.
Oh.
You're channeling Soren's angst.
Why don't you ever explain this stuff to me? All right, so BBD is going to take down a Thought Not Seer here with that Dromoka's Command. Looks like, and draw a card off of it. All right.
Thought Not Seer forced to play defense now. All of a sudden, one Sylvan Advocate has changed everything around.
God, this is what this green-white deck does too, right? It like finds just enough to keep you off balance, and then you look up and all of a sudden they've got 4 creatures, and like one Gideon is an emblem and everything's huge. Or
Sylvan Advocate might just be the best creature in Standard.
It is an
so
amazing card. Yeah, fantastic
It's
card.
good early. It's good late. Pumps up your creature lands. Card's just spectacular.
Ooh, here's Secure the Waste, though, for Josh. That looked like an end step secure.
Yeah. How many
for
so
5.
how many tokens did he get?
5.
How many tokens does it take to activate Westvale Abbey?
Oh, does he have? Oh, my goodness. Now, BBD in game 1, how the heck does he deal with a Profane Prince?
Well, he blocks with his own, of course.
Ah, and look how many creatures he has. Now, that's interesting, though, right? Because Josh may want to try to set this up for the next turn because I haven't seen his hand, but he actually has answers for an opposing Ormondal. We've already seen Anguished Unmaking there. And so he's the one who can actually, benefit from having some mana left over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He could leave himself with 1. No, he can't even do that. So I think what he's going to want to do is wait a turn. Also, he could just go for it, but
1, 2, 3.
Ooh,
Oh,
there's an answer.
Displacer.
That works.
Yeah, totally.
Looks like he's actually just going to attack here instead.
Interesting.
I'm assuming at Nissa, BBD's at 20. And it looks like BBD is going to take this chance to just make a 1/1 human.
Josh is like, hey, I got some of those.
Brian gets to eat a couple of soldiers in this transaction, actually 3 of them. Wow. That did not work out well for Josh. What is he trying to set up here? He's just trying to force it so that BBD can't use his Westvale Abbey? Is that what that was?
I think he would have liked to.
Wow, there's an ultimate now.
Wow.
From Nissa, so he's going to
1, 2,
gain
3,
X
4, 5.
life and draw 7 cards, right? Or is it 8?
8.
It's
It's cards equal to lands. He played his 8th land,
Oh my god.
then went to Ultimate Nissa. I mean, I think Josh was attacking Nissa there, right?
He had to be. He
Yeah,
had to be.
I mean, he was trying to keep Nissa off exactly this from happening, so can't blame him too much for that attack.
No. But it didn't work.
No, yeah, Brian was just like, I'm going to defend Nissa. I'm going to draw 8 cards.
No, you know what? I don't think he was attacking Nissa because those 2 soldiers did get through and she was on exactly
They
enough
didn't get
for
blocked
ultimate.
by 0-1 plants?
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
Guess he could have taken 2 from something earlier. I lost track of his life total there.
Same.
But holy crap. That is ridiculous. Look at BBD's hand. How is Josh supposed to beat this?
All right.
Well, he's going to use his Eldrazi displays here to knock
Flicker the Advocate.
out of the way for a minute, but yeah, it does look like they got blocked. This is great though for BBD. He was trying to set up that ultimate for the last couple of turns, and he got there. Now what is the question? I mean, he's got 10 cards in hand or whatever. Okay.
Oh, I get this deck list now. It's pretty sweet.
What are you seeing?
I see a couple of Wasteland Stranglers,
Okay.
a Kalitas, 2 Displacers. Yeah, it's a lot of 1s and 2s and 3s. Half a dozen Planeswalkers sitting on top of the curve. The only 4 ofs are the Secure the Waste and a Thought Nazir.
God, this turn is just insane. BBD also conveniently got back down to 7 cards, but the crazy part about ultimating Nissa and drawing that many cards is that costs no mana, and so he then got to spend 8 mana, dumping all the relevant spells out of his hand, or at least enough so that he didn't have to discard. And it feels like BBD's just going to run away with this one now.
Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet. It was like pretty good close game up until that point too.
Yeah, I thought it was going to come down to the Westvale Abbeys.
It did feel like that.
And Displacer could have given Josh the edge, but that just doesn't compete with Nissa Ultimate.
No. No, it's just overwhelming. He's just simply being overwhelmed by card advantage here. BBD's now sacrificing his Gideon there to make an emblem. And it looks like he's ready to rumble. He's just going to start attacking with a bunch of creatures here. And this is going to be over quite quickly. I mean, Josh is now firmly on the defensive, and he's facing a heck of a lot of power here. $14. It's actually a lethal attack? My goodness. That forces a chump block then from Josh. He's going to drop down to 4. Doesn't have enough creatures for Westvale Abbey. I guess if his last card is another Secure the Waste, he could potentially make an Ormondal here. I'm not even convinced that saves him. I suppose there's a block. Oh, it is Secure the Waste for his last card. Okay, we got a game. Game on.
Brian cannot make Ormondal.
Ooh.
So it gets a hit in.
Looks like it's for 6?
7.
For 7. Okay. Yeah, and it looks like he's just going to set up to make Ormondal on blocks here. Oh, Archangel Avacyn. That was end step. Does he have a way to kill a creature here? Does he have a Hangerback Walker in his hand or something like that? He's got another Archangel Avacyn, and he does have a Hangerback as well. Oh, and did you see pull the Stasis Snare? This is disgusting. It turns out when you draw 8 extra cards, you have a lot of answers and a lot of threats.
The one of Stasis Snare was not in the deck in Madrid, but is now.
Yeah. Steve's running a couple of them. Yeah, so Josh, unfortunately, he's going to go for what seems like the right play here, and I think it is.
Yep, agreed.
But unfortunately, it's not going to work out for him because his Ormondal is going to get snared away before blocks. And he knows. I mean, you know, he's going to have, okay, well, if you're attacking enemy, you obviously have an answer for my Ormondal. You're not just going to let me gobble up Avacyn, gain 9 life, make some other blocks on the ground. So
there's the Stasis Snare, and there's the Scoop.
Yeah, so he shows it to him, and we get a Game 1 victory by Brian Braun and his friend Nissa.
Wow, is this Green-White Tokens deck just the deck to beat now?
I think so. It feels like it.
I mean, it won the Pro Tour. Okay, fair enough. We had 8 different decks in the top 8. You could imagine a bunch of those decks winning that Pro Tour if you shuffle the pairings and, you know, shuffle the decks a different way. But now here we're at the Grand Prix. Everybody knows the word is out about how good that deck was. And Brian is 8-0, you know, halfway to getting to 9-0 from 8-0. You know, we saw Brian Larder win the mirror match last round against Mike Sigris. Those guys were 7-0. So Brian is 8-0 playing to get to 9.
Wow.
This, I mean, we've got 8 different 24-pointers in the feature match area. I don't know that they're all. Let's see how many deck lists I have. How many of these are green-white? That's 2. Josh is obviously not on green-white. Oh, Magnus Lanto is up here with the teched out Bant Company.
Mm-hmm. Deck looks pretty cool, too.
It does. Bradley Robinson.
I mean, that is one of the big questions that we get here because, you know, whenever I look at the Pro Tour top 8, I'm always a little skeptical because, of course, it incorporates a limited, you know, record into that. It's not just
and you'll often see decks at the Pro Tour that are just, they read the metagame right. And, you know, you can react, but nobody could react at the Pro Tour. Like I think the Red Green Goggles deck may wind up in that camp. We'll see. Like, I mean, Team Eureka, none of them played it here. They're like, I don't like this metagame, don't like this matchup against green-white.
You mean the currently undefeated in Community Super League Red Green Goggles deck?
That's the one.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm.
No problem. Bradley Robinson, who is 8-0 playing against Mark Jacobson, is on White Weenie. That's Mono White Humans. Jacobson, who's playing against him, is on, the 4-color Rights deck.
Okay. That deck has had a pretty good showing so far. I'm curious to see what its conversion rate for day 2 and how many there are.
Jonathan Moralski is on Green-White Tokens.
Okay. So that's the third one?
Third of the 8 we have here. He is playing against Drew White, who is on green-white tokens.
Oh, interesting.
It is 4 of the 8.
Wow.
That's a big number. And we just watched Siggy lose the mirror match as his first loss last round. Yeah, I think we have a new public enemy number 1. Wow, yeah, Brian Brown trying to get the 9-0. He had a good Pro Tour. He got some points, leveled up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually hit gold. Interested to see another game with Josh's deck. There's a lot of different directions you can go with black-white. There's a lot of very powerful cards in that color combination. Looks like our stream flickered, but if you refresh, you get it back.
Yeah, that does seem to be the case. I saw some burning picnic baskets, which can only mean one thing.
Panic baskets.
Exactly.
I don't know if this part got lost then, but we did count up of the 8 undefeated players in the future match area this round. Fully 4 of them are on green-white tokens.
Yeah, that is quite telling.
And then none of the others doubled up, right? I mean,
No.
a couple twists on collected company, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the sacrifice twist and the
And
the 4-color
new
rights
band
twist.
comp-
Oh,
yeah, band
are
company.
3 of the others company?
I mean, there's the
There's-
Magnus Lanto one.
There's the normal one. Yeah, there's essentially the normal one, the crazy 4.5 color one,
Yeah.
and
The new normal one, like the one with sky spawners and that kind of stuff. That's the one Lanto's playing.
right. Was there a CFP sacrifice version too, or is that just the 4.5 color one? Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. All right, players are taking a look at their opening hands here. Again, we're down the stretch. It's round number 9 here in Toronto. And we're playing for undefeated here on day 1. That's a big deal. Josh is playing in his first GP. And he's
First GP
that's
ever.
Insane. I mean, he's already booked 8-1,
Yeah,
which is
He's
great.
coming back to play tomorrow for
And
sure.
if he could just pick up these 2 games against BBD, which is going to be difficult, he will be 9-0 in his first GP. I might just not come back. I would just be like,
no, even if you're 8-1,
I sorted that. No, I figured it out. I was undefeated, and
you're like 4-2 away from a PT invite, Marshall.
moving on to my next challenge in life.
No, you just won 13-2 at that point. You want to go to the
For
Pro
sure.
Tour.
Totally.
Don't have to make top 8 to get a Pro Tour invitation. Just got to go 13-2.
Yeah, Brian Braunduin, on the other hand, he's already on the Pro Tour. He wants top 8s. He wants trophies.
Yeah.
All right, so an Eldrazi Displacer, very solid start here for Josh. Outside of anything else, he got to kill Brian Braunduin's 2-drop there and then play a solid 3-drop as a follow-up. And he's going to go ahead and just get aggressive here. So what you saw was he actually activated his Displacer to just stomp out that plant, just pulling weeds over there, and then attack Nissa. He knows that he wants to keep pressure on the Planeswalkers. And wow,
Jeez.
BBD doing all he can, but, playing a Hangerback Walker right into an active Eldrazi Displacer is not fun times. It's dead. Like, he literally taps 3 mana and kills it. And now he's going to ultimate price the plant and kill Nissa. Big swings for Josh there. He was able to really punish BBD for trying his best to protect Nissa, and he doesn't have any white mana.
No 4th land, no white mana.
No Oath of Nissa. Might need that if he's got to get in. Oh, right. We're right on time, though. There's the Plains. Now what, BBD? You're down to 17, but there wasn't any big play there from Josh, at least not yet this
God,
turn.
how good is Displacer against Hangerback Walker? So many Displacers this weekend, and they just keep looking great. Card does so much right now.
It really does. Yeah, it's a win condition.
It's a combo card.
Yeah.
It's removal.
It's also, and I think the thing that gets lost in the fray is that it's a 3/3 for 3. And when you line that up against a lot of the threats, like specifically from the Bant Company deck, that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, so what is BBD up to here? Josh is going to have to try to figure it out. Dromica's command is the thing that comes to mind the most.
Okay.
Don't know what it's doing here.
Right.
Like right now, Josh is just going to say, hey, I'd like to blink your hangerback walker.
Yeah.
And now if BBD decides to respond to it, it looks like Josh has another colorless mana source up there, and he could just do it again. So he just gets him. Wow. Man, Josh is just kind of working that Eldrazi displacer like a violin here. It's now killed two hangerback walkers and a plant token just on its own. Just tap 3 mana, kill your creature.
And Nissa. I'm going to give it credit for killing Nissa,
gobbled up Nissa's loyalty, so... All right, he did not play around Archangel Avacyn, but
yes,
he had a response.
Yes, he
did. He knew. All right. Anna Gideon. Wow, Josh is just putting on a show here, I have to say.
Sure looks like we're going to get a game 3.
It feels that way. He has had the answer for everything that Brian's done. Well, not quite done yet. Oh, Quarantine Field.
Wow.
Whoa, that leaves Josh with just a 2/2 Knight and some lands. Though that might be enough to get the job done. I mean, I do see that he's got a couple of Shambling Vents. Yeah, this could be actually a fairly big attack right here, at least for 4. Yeah, activate. And it looks like he's an untapped mana away from being able to activate the other one. So he's just going to have to settle for 4 damage here. Does he have another play? No. Oh, this is a big turn for Brian Bronduin. If he can find a way to get rid of something here, he may be able to survive.
I think he's got another hangerback. He's got a couple Dromoka's commands. Might be 2 hangerbacks, 2 commands.
Okay.
I'm not sure I got all 4 cards right, but
that seems good.
Yeah, so 2/2 hangerback with command mana.
Okay. This time there's no Eldrazi displacer to mess up his plan. Go. Well, Brian's certainly drawn himself out of that land situation. Oh, wow.
That is a lot of 1/1s.
It's like 7 of them. Yeah, it doesn't hurt so much when you flood out when you've got that card. Archangel Avacyn in hand for BBD, but it might not be enough here. Depends on what Josh does. If he can activate both Shambling Vents, I think even casting an Avacyn isn't going to be enough.
I think I see another ultimate price too.
Okay. Well, then maybe just 1 is enough. Oh, Anguish Unmaking. And remember that Exiles. I think he's got him here. Even if BBD plays Avacyn, he'll still just have the 1 blocker. Attack with everything. Block the Knight. Take 7. BBD's making sure, though. But it looks to be the case.
He's unmaking a hangerback. Because Quarantine Field is also an interesting target.
Oh, that's true. Good point. He could just immediately ultimate Gideon.
Get his displacer back. Flicker the hanger back.
Flicker the hanger back.
I would go, Quarantine Field seems like a juicier target to me.
Yeah, I think you're right. Either way, I think they both win him the game. So it looks like BBD might fight the Knight here.
He wants his hanger back to lose the fight.
To dead. Yeah, he wants it to die. So he's not going to be able to put the +1/+1 counter on it. He's just going to say whatever, sack an enchantment or whatever. Oh, I was wrong. Well,
okay, he was on making a Quarantine Field.
Yeah, but this doesn't work, right? Doesn't he just blink the thing? Let's see what BBD has in line for us. He's going to immediately make an emblem. And then blink the hangerback walker. So he's got another Dromoka's command. What is this?
Yeah, I think so.
No, he's going to put counter on it. And then he's going to fight the displacer. Okay, I like this.
Funny.
That's going to give him 4 1-1s, but he's still dead, right? 2, 3,
1, 2,
4.
3, 4.
Oh, he
He's
actually
only
goes
taking
to
6.
1. He is only taking 6.
Funny.
Did he get 5 1-1s there? Okay. That was 4.
Why did he get 5?
I thought it was 4, but
It's definitely 4. If he put a counter on it with Droka's command, it wouldn't have died. He had to put a counter on the displacer in order to get the hanger back to die, right?
So the thing is, it was a...
Oh, it had the damage previously. Got it.
Because it had already fought.
It had already fought once, right.
Sure.
So he was able to put... He did get 5.
Anyway.
He put the 5th counter on.
None of this... this is all fun and everything to get into the nitty-gritty, but the truth of the matter is that Josh looks like he's in a position to take down game number 2 here.
Brian navigated that turn quite well.
I like the way that it turned out, buying himself a draw step, but I think he needed to hit something like a, I don't know.
Tragic Arrogance?
Yeah, Tragic Arrogance, I guess.
Now here's Wasteland Strangler.
Sure.
Oh, look. There's even food. Anguished Unmaking.
Yeah.
Gives him something to process.
Sure. Make a Shambling Vent just for good measure. Ship the team, and let's go to the next game. All right. Yeah, there was some pretty cool little sequencing down the stretch there, I think, but I don't think any of it was particularly relevant to the outcome of the game. Though, BBD did give himself another draw step, which could have been, really important there. But anyway, we get a game 3, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I had forgotten that the Hangerback had already fought once and had damage on it, so he could get it to 5 power and have it trade with the displacer.
Players are going to hit up the sideboards here, and we are going to get a chance to see how many undefeateds did we have. Did we get that information?
I haven't heard.
I'm going to ask. You're going to ask?
I got it.
You got it. You're on it. I'm curious.
It might be just the 8. I mean, that feels about right. We had 1,700 and change in the tournament. 4 undefeateds overnight would be about right. I bet there's 4 or 5.
Who do you think's going to win this?
Fabrizio and Terry's here.
But this isn't the GP
he's lost
before
once.
the Pro Tour. This is the one after.
He's won 5 of them, Marshall.
He's only won half of the ones that he's top-aided.
Yeah, Alexander Haynes done that.
It's a coin flip, yeah.
Can we have Hayne versus Terry in the finals?
Oh, God, I would love that.
Yeah, Hayne is 4 for 8 on closing his GP top 8s.
It's insane.
Well, we know who one of the undefeateds are. Looks like Mark Jacobson has defeated Bradley Robinson.
He's been playing really well lately too.
He's the 4.5 color right stack, right?
I don't know.
Brood Company, Brood Incorporated,
Brood Inc.
Brood Inc.
Deck is cool.
Definitely. I mean, on the one hand, you're like, why couldn't you guys play that at the Pro Tour? But then again, they did make top 4 with Seth Manfield.
Yeah, they did.
Seth even took the lead in the Player of the Year race that
I don't know
way.
how Seth made top 4 with that deck, but
The Eldrazi, the Esper Control?
Yeah.
I think that deck scored good.
Do you?
It's got a ton of removal.
Mm-hmm.
10 is the answer to how many undefeateds coming into this round. So looks like we will have 5 overnight. And some 701s always mess up the math.
Yeah, the technically undefeated.
The technically undefeated, yeah.
No, we're not messing with that today, Randy. We're going for completely unblemished records only in our feature match area. In fact, all of our players in the feature are 8-0.
Who were the poor 2 guys that didn't make the cut?
Oh.
Somewhere there's one table paired in the main floor that
It's true.
didn't get the invite.
That is true. I think they'll be all right, being 8-0 and all.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Seth's Esper Control. I think it was a really good call for the metagame. I think that Grasp and Ultimate Price and Languish was just really well positioned. And I think those high loyalty planeswalkers make it really tough for anybody to interact with you. Shota's the one where you're like, how did that guy make top 4? Esper Dragon's deck does not look nearly as good to me.
All right, Spatial Contortion looks like it's going to... Last time it was ultimate price to take down the Sylvan Advocate. This time it's Spatial Contortion. Good enough either way. Oh, and we've got a Morph. I'm assuming that's a Den Protector there.
Yeah, this does seem like a good matchup for boarding in Den Protector.
Totally.
Late game grind fests.
Looks like a tough decision here. Josh already passed the turn back. BBD is just going to rumble. And he's going to follow up with Gideon. So he's going to leave the shields down a little on the Den Protector here. But he also knows that he's forcing the issue, and if Josh wants to use something like an Anguished Unmaking, he's not going to be able to use it on the Den Protector. Instead, he's going to use it on Gideon. Oh, what a setup for Josh, too.
Wow.
That's insane. Kill your Den Protector with my Wasteland Strangler.
After exiling something else. That's a great line.
I like that.
That was great.
Yeah, you know, Wasteland Strangler definitely is one of those cards that's power level is up to par for standard. It just needs to find the right metagame, the right home, and it has at certain times, and it looks like Josh has found a home for it here. It hasn't been the card that we'd see all over the place yet, but that was nasty.
Yeah, I hadn't really seen it being used to fuel Wasteland Strangler.
Yeah.
It's pretty clever.
And interestingly, Brian's going to attack and get blocked. How can both of them be okay with that trade? Somebody knows something here. Let's watch on to find out. Now, we do see that Josh is missing mana, and PBD's going to get aggro here. He's going to play Secure the Waste for 3, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him follow up with one of his Planeswalkers to pump up the team here. Doesn't look like he has it, though. He's just going to crunch for 3, it looks like. Sure. Josh gives him the thumbs up. And BBD doesn't have anything else going on.
Well, does he?
I don't know. Is it an Archangel Avacyn?
Look, anytime this deck passes with 5 mana, you got to be at least considering Avacyn. I don't think she counts as a Planeswalker, but she's pretty close.
Because she's better? Yeah. All right, well, the Token Smasher has arrived. It's a little really slow, but...
And I guess Brian really didn't have anything to do with that 5 mana.
Must have a removal in his hand, though, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I see
there it is.
There's Declaration.
In stone. And wow, this is where Declaration really shines. When your opponent's behind already and struggling for mana, it's such a big cost to be able to pay the 2 to crack the clue here. It just basically uses up Josh's turn. Thought-Knot Seer, and he's going to see, wow, a Quarantine Field and another Declaration in stone. Awkward. He's going to leave him with the Quarantine Field. Interesting. He could have taken the Quarantine Field and sort of forced BBD to use Declaration in stone, which would then give him another clue. And as it sits, BBD could just Quarantine Field the clue and the Thought-Knot Seer here, right?
Funny. Yeah, I mean, I guess he took the more mana-efficient card.
Yeah,
I'm with you, though. Brian seems like he has a bunch of mana and not a lot to do with it. So
I guess there's a chance that Josh has an answer for Quarantine Field in his hand, maybe another Anguished Unmaking.
Ah, sure. And yeah, if he can, that's almost certainly what it is.
He wants to bait BBD into just playing it so that he can get his value back. Where Declaration in stone is much more difficult for Josh to interact with.
The clue's a token, though, right? Don't get that one back.
Yeah, no, that does not come back. This is super interesting because BBD will have figured this out, right? He's going to be like, great.
Why did he leave me? Yeah.
Block.
Sure.
Okay, here's Archangel Avacyn, so we know what BBD drew for the turn. And that's just going to save his token, but of course put out a nice big threat.
Yeah.
Though I suppose that Josh probably has an answer. Oh, he's got Declaration Stone to take out all the tokens, and remember, that means no clues. Oh, and an ultimate price, too. Whoa, what a big swing for Josh. God, this match has been awesome.
Well, he's got a grip full of cards. He's just been scuffling on mana. That was only the second turn he had access to 4. Now we'll have 5 next turn.
And here's the Quarantine Field. So the clue's gone.
Yep.
But like we said, I think that BBD is okay just saying, all right, well, if you're going to use an Anguish Unmaking or something like that, fair enough. Ooh, another Thought-Knot Seer. Wow, look at that hand from BBD. Jeez. Archangel Avacyn gone, leaving him with just a Dromoka's Command. Oh, but he rips Declaration in Stone. Man, this is just haymakers. Whoa. What is that in his hand? Is it a Sigarda? Does he have one? Where's that deck list? Brian, what do you got in your hand, buddy? He does have a Sigarda, and I think he's got it in his hand, too. Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Oh, man.
Why not?
In these grindy matchups, it's so sweet. He can just start plowing through his graveyard here. Oh, this gets interesting. Secure the waste for Josh.
Is there a Westphal Abbey in those lands or no? I don't see one.
Negative. It's like a special blighted fen there, but yeah, I don't see an Abbey. BBD's going to make a human here, I suppose. Okay, so now he's got 5 soldiers, but what is he going to do with them? Sigarda's pretty threatening, and Josh is at 7. It's just 2 turns. Bang, bang. He could be dead. Ruinous Path.
Yeah,
no,
Brian has hexproof, and his humans have hexproof.
But she does not, and down goes Sigarda, so that leaves him with just the 1/1 human. And Josh is ready to fight. Attack for 5. He says, okay, you hit me for 1, I hit you for 5. I like this exchange. And BBD is just going to take it and go down to 11. Oh, man, this game has been fantastic. That was a Nissa off the top there for BBD. She doesn't look super amazing here. Brian can also start using his Westvale Abbey to make 1/1s. These players are trying to stay undefeated, but they are really making each other's lives difficult on that path. Nothing's going to be easy here. Okay, so Nissa make a plant. Dromoka's Command, and the plant's going to grow. Oh, no, it's not. It's going to get ultimate priced here.
Yeah, you could kind of tell Brian was nervous about a removal spell, but
yes,
I don't blame him. I think he kind of had to play it that
way.
way.
And that effectively neutralizes 2 of the soldiers. One would have died on the spot. The other one would have been forced to run into a 1/2 plant, so it makes sense. It did not work out for him, however. And it looks like, so this is an interesting choice. Josh can kill Nissa here, or he can attack everything at BBD.
Brian goes ahead and takes the opportunity to trade. Still loses Nissa, though.
Yep. But he knows that now he's the one who's behind. Yeah, and now all he has is Westvale Abbey going. Oh, man. Is Josh going to win this?
First Grand Prix ever.
Crack that clue finally.
Lives about an hour outside of Toronto. GP came to town.
Seagate wreckage.
Oh, sweet. I
Wants to empty that hand. Attack for 4. This is going to make one and block, but he's effectively going to take an extra damage off of the Abbey as well.
Technically, Brian kills all the 1/1s before he dies.
Does he?
He winds up at 1. He takes effective 3, effective 2, effective 1. That's 6.
Of course he does. God, that Seagate wreckage looks good here, although I have to assume that Josh either has removal spells or land in hand. Oh, an Issa off the top for BBD, though. Back in action. Now he doesn't get to make a human, though, and I wonder if Josh, can he afford to ignore Nissa here? Probably not, right? Oh, there's Shambling
Shambling Vents? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, okay, that's different.
Yeah, I forgot about the Shambling Vents. Brian could have barely stabilized against just the tokens, but yeah, he can't be Shambling Vent. Not with the resources he's got now.
Okay, so chump block. Josh is going to jump up to 9 here.
It looked like, and Brian reached for his life total. I assume Josh did, in fact, ignore Nissa.
You're right. So he's down to 4 then as BBD. Oh, this has been so close.
A plant and a Westvale Abbey activation. I think Josh Buitenhouse is going to go 9-0 in his first Grand Prix ever. What a sweet game. This is a game where Josh was mana screwed, too.
Can he activate Blighted Fen and Shambling Vent this turn?
Oh. Yes.
Plant down. Westvale Abbey is not good enough, and Josh Buitenhouse is through undefeated 9-0.
Black-White Eldrazi.
Wow, welcome to the GP scene, Josh. And BBD, still an awesome run, right? He's at 8-1 going into day 2. Wouldn't be shocked to see him in the top 8 tomorrow, though he will have to put together a decent little run if he's going to make that.
5-1's probably good enough. He'll have solid breakers.
Wow, that's insane. All right, Brian Larder versus Magnus Lanto. You'll notice that we're also in Game 3, and also both players are 8-0. Here is another green-white tokens. Uh-oh. Well, this doesn't look great for Brian, I have to say.
No.
As we come into the late stages of Game 3, Magnus Lanto is attacking with everything, and Brian Larder is adding up how much damage he's going to take. And it might be enough to just kill him here.
Also getting an update that Drew White has lost to Jonathan Morawski. So
Ooh.
Congratulations to Jonathan.
Check this out. Secure the Waste. For 2. This could be a race changer. There's an Ashaya and a Tireless Tracker down there. There's also a Lumbering Falls that can be blocked, and a couple of Eldrazi Scions. The others are the other creatures in the sky. Ooh.
Morawski, by the way, 9-0 with green-white tokens. So we'll have at least one of those at 9-0.
Okay.
Although kind of a mix. I mean, a bunch of them have gotten here to the top of this list, but they're not crushing these tables. Avacyn the Purifier, however,
he's going to clear the
crushing
board.
all tables.
Yeah. He's going to redirect the 3. The Lumbering Falls should be alive. And everything else is gone. Holy smokes. It did not look good when we came into this game. But
what just happened, Marshall?
He was able, thanks to Secure the Waste, to stay at 2 life.
And flip his Avacyn.
And then flip his Avacyn. And all of a sudden, he's in a potentially dominating board presence here. Oh, he's
and he's got a
drawn
Gideon. That Advocate is up to 4/5.
He's doing math here. That's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is that lethal? Dead.
Wow.
That's lethal. Brian Larder is going to stay undefeated with green-white tokens. Holy smokes. I got to say, when we came in, I did not think that was going to be the case. All right, that's going to do it for round 9 here from Toronto.
Unravel the madness. Shadows over Innistrad is now available on Magic Online. Explore the new set by signing up for Magic Online at mtgo.com. Ready to take your game to the next level and start on the path to the Pro Tour? Rise to the challenge and test your skills at a local preliminary Pro Tour qualifier. To find an event near you, visit magic.wizards.com/pptq.
Wow. Incredible stuff. That's Randy Buehler. I'm Marshall.